Behaviorism Mini Teach by Christina Shoemaker and Sierra Scheibel. Direct application of behaviorism for ELs. This theory supports English learners by providing specific strategies based on its past and present propositions. Conditional responses. Behaviorism is rooted in the belief that language acquisition is a result of conditioned responses to external stimuli, according to Devin Kumar. For English learners, this is shown when a student experiments with foreign or familiar words in English and receives something expected. For instance, a student learning to say slower to compel the teacher to speak slower. In order to support an EL using this theory, the teacher must be responsive to the student's English and, whenever possible, attend to the communication. Modeling and operant conditioning. Imitation is another useful tool in language acquisition. Students who repeat unfamiliar words learn the physical and verbal process of its composition. Operant conditioning is taken advantage of when students are encouraged to imitate words or phrases with constant positive reinforcement. Teachers can implement this strategy when introducing new vocabulary, modeling the word, and asking the class to repeat it. Providing tools for students to silently read or speak words to themselves, such as a whisper phone, for extra practice can also reinforce pronunciation and articulation. Critiques. Although behaviorism has many successful teaching strategies, its measurement of effectiveness on language acquisition is questioned. Devin Kumar warns, quote, critics argue that understanding language acquisition requires considering cognitive aspects such as memory, perception, and problem solving, end quote. English learners often come from varied backgrounds, native languages, cultures, etc., which impact the way that they use and retain language. These mental processes demand to be acknowledged for validity and reliability. Due to increased skepticism, modern lessons and assessments which incorporate behaviorism strategies also considered mental processes and render the previous behaviorism beliefs as extreme behaviorism. Overview of behaviorism in the lesson. This lesson aligns with behaviorists' principles by using direct modeling, repetition, imitation, and positive reinforcement to support language acquisition in young learners. Stimulus response. According to Kendra Cherry, quote, behaviorists believe that environmental stimuli shape our actions, end quote. In this lesson, the teacher presents multiple stimuli, including visual images, such as the animal pictures, models sentences, and leads chants. Students respond by repeating the vocabulary and sentences, act out animal behaviors, and match words to images. Repetition and imitation. Classical conditioning is another strategy of behaviorism which prevents a positive stimulus with a neutral stimulus. In contrast, repetition and reinforcement is operant conditioning. Hannah Lamentianen describes, quote, through repetition and reinforcement, children refine their linguistic abilities, end quote. Through this lesson, students repeat vocabulary in chants, echo sentences, and imitate animal sounds and movements. These repetitive and imitative practices reinforce correct language usage, especially for ELs. The use of total physical response, or TPR, also reflects behaviorist practices, pairing physical actions with verbal input to build conditioned associations. Positive reinforcement. Radical behaviorism proposes past or present environmental reinforcements are able to influence someone's behaviors. During the lesson, the teacher provides positive reinforcement through praise for correct usage and participation. This practice, quote, strengthens the likelihood of repeating correct language behaviors, end quote, claims Devin Kumar. Students see that they can communicate better through these activities and natural positive reinforcement occurs. The lesson. The lessons we have designed aim to help students achieve mastery of the following standards. Describe familiar people, places, things, and events, and with prompting and support, provide additional detail. Demonstrate command of the conventions of standard English grammar and usage when writing or speaking. Use frequently occurring nouns and verbs. Form regular plural nouns orally by adding s or es. For example, dog, dogs, wish, wishes. Objectives. Students will be able to correctly identify and name at least 5 animals in English and identify the plural of those animals with 80% accuracy by responding to visual prompts and participating in an echo chant. Repeat model sentences using the animal vocabulary with minimal errors and is able to match animal pictures to their name cards with 70% accuracy.
Okay, so now we're going to start the lesson. I would gather everybody to the group area wherever we can all sit, and I would say, who loves animals? Raise your hand if you love animals. So today we are going to be talking about animals, and we will even get to pretend to be animals. Does anyone here have an animal at home? Sierra, what animal do you have at home?
A dog.
You have a dog at home? Okay, so guess what? Today, dog is one of the animals we are going to be talking about. So you already know that one. So that's great. So let's go ahead and get started with our game. I am going to show you pictures of animals, and I am going to say the name of the animal, and then I want you all to say the name of the animal back to me. So I say cat, and then I would say you say, and you're going to say cat. Okay, so get ready. The first picture is frog. I say frog, you say
Dog.
great. I want to hear everybody saying it. Everybody help and say the name of the animal. All right, here's the next animal. I say cat. You say
Cat.
cat. Great. All right. Next one. I say pig. You say,
Pig.
all right. Now we finished all of those cards. Now we're going to talk about something new. We just talked about what we call it when we have one animal. We had one pig. We had one cat. We had one frog. But what if we have more than one? When that happens, it's called plural. Everybody say plural.
Plural.
Okay, plural means you have more than one. So now we're going to talk about what we call it when we have more than one. So I'm going to say the word, and then you're going to say the word. Okay, so the first animal is more than one frog. So we call that frogs.
Frogs.
Right. Okay. I say rats. You say,
Rats.
all right, next one. I say crabs. You say,
Crabs.
all right. So those are the plurals. So if we have more than one, we have to add a s sound on the end to make everyone know that there's more than one. All right. Now we're moving on to the next part of our lesson. This is the part where we get to act out an animal. So I'm going to take our cards and I'm going to show you an animal, and then we're going to try to act it out. Okay, so here's the first animal. Okay, I'll show you how I would act it out, and then I want everybody else to try it. Okay, so the first animal is bat. Now, if I were a bat, bats have wings. Okay, everybody try it. Who can be a bat? Go ahead and stand up and be a bat. Squeak. Great. Okay, everybody sit back down. We're going to do the next animal. Ooh, this is a tricky one. I got crab. Okay. All right. Let's see all of you act like crabs. Ooh, I see some very realistic crabs out there. All right, here comes the next one. Cow. All right, I know that cows have kind of floppy ears and they say moo, moo. All right, let's see all of you be cows. Moo, moo. Oh, great. That's great. You guys were such good cows. That was so much fun. Okay, now that we've done all of the animals, now we're going to talk about the next activity that we're going to do. So now I'm going to show you some new cards that we're going to be working with in our classroom. Okay, the first set, these are called nomenclature cards. Nomenclature cards teach us new vocabulary. That's new words. So we're going to learn the new animal words. Okay, the animals that we just did are all on these cards. This set has the picture and the word. Okay, then we have the next part. The next part has only the picture without the word. Okay, and the last part has only the words without the pictures. Our job is to match the picture and word card with its picture and its word. Okay, sounds kind of tricky, but we're going to try it. All right, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out the cards so that I can see them. I have frog, I have cat, I have pig, and I have cow. Okay, I'm going to lay out all the cards. Okay, now I'm going to take the pictures, the ones with just the pictures on them, and I'm going to try to match them to the other cards. So, not the same. Nope. That's the pig. I found a match. All right. The next one I have is cat. That's not the cat. There's the cat. I found another match. Now I have cow. Nope. There's the cow. All right. Now I have a crab. Nah, not the same. That's a fox. I need frog. There's the frog. All right, so we matched all 4 cards that I have in front of me. If I were doing this with the students, I would do all 10 cards. All right, now this is the tricky part. I have to match the word to the correct picture. So I'm going to look carefully at each word. That's not the same. That's not the same. Nope. 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 No. 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 Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No. Nope. Wow. No. Nope. 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 No. No. found one. I found a match. I found cat. No. 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 I only have two left. That's confusing. I must have skipped one. I'll have to go look again. No. 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 There's cow. I found cow. No. 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 Oh, pig. There it is. I found pig. All right. I missed frog. I'm going to have to go back. I might have missed it. That starts with a F, but it's not frog. No. No. Okay, so I'm missing frog. Okay, I'm missing that one. We'll have to look and see if we can find that so that we can do that again and find all the matches next time. Maybe it got mixed in with the plurals. All right, so I'm going to put those away and I'm going to show you the next type of cards we have. So that type had the picture with the word already on it. Okay, this set is missing that part. It only has the picture and the word. And that means that you have to read the word to match it. So these are a little bit trickier. I'm going to lay them out. I got all my cards. Now I'm going to read the word. Ant. Ant. I don't see any ants. Pig. Pig. I don't have any pigs. Dog. Nope. Frog. Frog. No frogs. Fox. Ooh, I do have a fox. Okay. Bat. Bat. I do have a bat. At. Cat. I have a cat. Crab. Crab. I have a crab. So I found all of the word labels for all of my pictures. When you finish matching all of your pictures to your words, you can ask a friend to come check and see if you did it correctly. Now, there's one very important thing. If you help a friend, you are not doing the work for them. Okay, you're not finding where the name cards go for them. You are just helping them to see if they got it correct. So everybody needs to try on their own, and then you can ask a friend. Okay, so now that we've introduced all the kinds of new cards that we have, that would be the end of the lesson for that day. The next day, I would gather everybody at group time again, and I would say, remember when we practiced naming animals yesterday? Well, today, I want to see what you can remember. Yesterday, I showed you the pictures and I told you the names. Today, I am not going to tell you the names. You have to tell me what they are. Okay, so I'm going to show you a picture. And if you think you know the animal name, raise your hand. And if that person gets it right, then everyone gets to act it out. Okay, are we ready? Okay, here's the first one. Who knows what this is? Sierra, what is this?
That's a cow. Listening.
It is a cow. All right, everybody act like a cow.
Moo.
Oh, I see some really good cows out there. All right, are you guys ready for the next one? All right, everybody sit down. Get ready. Okay, here it comes. Who knows what this animal is? Who knows what this animal is? Sierra, what is this animal?
That's a pig.
It is a pig. And thank you for using it in a sentence. You said the whole sentence. That is a pig. Instead of just saying the word pig, she used it in a sentence. Very well done. All right, that means everybody gets to act like pigs. All right, everybody act like a pig.
Oink, 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 oink.
Okay, great. You guys, everybody go ahead and sit down. We're going to do the next one. All right, here we go. Oh, this is a fun one. Who knows what this is? What is this one?
That's a frog.
It is a frog. Now everyone gets to act like a frog. All right, everybody act like a frog. Be careful of your friends' bodies. Everybody be in control. Okay, everybody sit down. Okay, we're going to do one more. We have one more. Here we go. Who knows this animal? Some of you have this animal at home. Some of you know people that have these animals. Sierra, what animal is this?
That's a cat.
It is a cat, and that means everyone gets to act like cats.
Meow.
All right, everybody sit back down again. All right, now that we got to do that fun activity, we are going to break up in centers, and you are going to get to use the cards that I showed you yesterday. So remember, we have different sets of cards. We have the pink set that have the names on them, and then the pictures and the words that you match. We have the ones that only have the pictures and the words, and we have a surprise set. We have an orange set. So if you think you already can do all of those cards, you're going to get a chance to do the orange cards. And once you learn how to do the pink cards and the red cards, then you'll get to do the orange cards. So the orange cards have some of the animals that we learned already, plus it has some new animals that we haven't learned yet. So for my strong readers, you're going to be doing the orange cards today. If you're just starting reading, you're doing the red cards. And if you're beginning reader, like pre-reader, then you're going to do the pink cards. And I will let you know what cards you're going to do today. Don't worry, everyone's going to get a chance to do all the cards. Once you learn the set you're on, then you're going to get to move on. So everyone will have an opportunity, but today I'm going to let you know what color cards you're going to do. All right. Then I would have the kids break up into centers. This wouldn't be the first day that we had done centers, obviously. One of the centers would be a table where they could each get a stack of cards, and I would pass out the cards to the kids. And then that would give me the opportunity to give a small group lesson separately. And then once everyone's working independently, I could walk around and see how everyone's doing, see who is getting it and who knows the animal names and who needs more help, and maybe plan some individual group lessons to help with that vocabulary for the students who are still working on it. So I would have them go to their centers and I would say, okay, remember, try to match the cards on your own before you ask a friend for help. If you get one wrong, your friends can help you fix it, but I want you to try your best to name the animals yourself. Okay, please remember your quiet voices and remember you're helping each other. So please use kind words. And that would be the end of the lesson. So,
All right, now that the lesson is over, I wonder what you've learned. Let's think about all the animals that we learned about today. Who can name one animal that we practiced? Yeah, Tina?
we learned about frogs.
We did learn about frogs. You've got a good memory. Yes, that was one of our animals. Why is it important to learn these new words? What do we use them for? Tina?
So we can tell people about animals or tell people what our favorite animal is.
Yeah, that's true. We use the words to talk to people. That's a good point, Tina. We learned how to say the names of animals. We practiced using the animal names in a sentence, like I see a cat. We even learned that when there's more than one animal, we can add an S to it to make it plural. Next time you see a cat or a frog, try saying it in a full sentence, like I see a frog. All right, we are going to head on over to the rug, and I'm going to read another story about animals. All right, so I'll meet you there. All
Okay,
right,
that's the
thank you
end.
for watching.
Yeah, thank you. That's the end of our presentation.